is Heat Live, connected by Verizon. Here comes your final score. How about that? Portland 116, Miami 107. No Tyler Hero tonight. Change in the first 5 as Ware started the game, but not enough to overcome a nice offensive flow by the visitors. Here's what's coming up on the program. Get you to Spoelstra press conference. Ron's going to rewind for us. Amy's got some angles she's working on, and we'll take a look at a little two-gamer away from Miami coming up as Milwaukee and Brooklyn are next. Ron Rothstein, Jason Jackson, and the middle of this game was kind of clunky, huh?
We never impacted them until it was too late. We just did. They had a free flow. They pretty much went where they wanted to, did whatever they wanted to. We never turned them. I don't remember a half we didn't force one turnover. That's not. You can't win. You can't win.
I believe it was the second time ever.
Was it?
Second.
Second? Mm-hmm. Not this year?
No. I think ever.
Ever. Okay.
I was.
That might include our first 3 years also. I don't think it ever happened in our first 3 years.
It's tough.
We just made it so ugly anyhow. But
yeah.
But it was. Listen, give them credit. They played extremely well. They did what they had to do. We had no flow. You know, it was easy going back and forth, but then they stepped on the gas and we didn't. We stood around looking at one another for the most part, and that was disappointing.
Early lead in that first quarter for Miami, double digits, and then the Trailblazers for 2.5 quarters just took off. Here's the game summary, brought to you by Xfinity. The lineup change, I alluded to it. Tyler Hero, right sore groin, not available, so Terry Rozier moved into the first 5. Told you about Ware in there with Butler, Adebayo, and Robinson, and a 20-point double-double for Ware, by the way, getting that opportunity. But it was the other side providing a massive 1-2 punch, as Ayton had a 22 and 15 double-double, as he was flanked by Anthony Simons, their leading scorer. Most nights he was that on this night. He had 24 points, helping in the effort as well. And we kind of alluded to it. Started in the second quarter, moved into the third quarter, fast break points, all flowing for the Trailblazers. Outscored the Heat by 16 in transition, Coach.
Yeah, and also, look, this team, and that's why they shot 49% for the game. They had a lot of easy baskets. This team shoots 44 on the season. They had 49 tonight because of all those fast break opportunities. They did a good job on the defensive glass. They limited our offensive rebounding, and they were able to get out. And this is one of the things that has plagued us all year long, our transition defense, not necessarily by the numbers, but the opportunities that it presents during key moments of games. Our transition defense is just not very good, and it's a work in progress. But if we're going to go anywhere, that has to get better.
Time now for the Baptist Health post-game press conference. Let's get down to the interview room. Spo is there.
Eric, we often hear about how missed shots and then the defense goes also, but this seemed to be a case where they were sort of happening simultaneously, where the defense wasn't there even when you were making shots. How did it go so south, so combined, so quickly?
Yeah, I don't have that answer fully, right now. Portland definitely set the tenor of the game, just how aggressively they were attacking us off the dribble, attacking the paint, attacking the drives, offense rebounding. We're often, from those drives. We just never really got a handle on the driving game until, that, last, whatever desperation, effort we were making the last 7 minutes of the game. We finally got some contained drives at that point, but you do have to credit them. They were downhill the entire night, whether we were in the man or zone.
The fact that they only had 3 turnovers to the first 3 quarters is not a sign of the selectivity level.
For sure.
Being there.
We mentioned that at halftime. We didn't force 1 turnover. We had 0 turnovers, a ton of drives. in transition, just attacking the half court versus our man or zone. We're at our best when we're disruptive. Again, you don't need analytics to know when we're at our best. You can see it, you can feel it, you get inspired by it, and through 3 quarters, that wasn't it.
Coach, obviously, I know it's a loss here, but can you just kind of talk about Cologne in the start today? Obviously, the narrative about him being alongside Bam, but having a good double-double tonight.
Yeah, the rebounding, he did some really good things defensively at the rim. He'll continue to get better, when to go, when not to go, when to wall up. If a guy catches it in the paint, those things he'll get better. But, the upside obviously is very encouraging, and that's why, he's in the starting lineup right now. We just frankly needed to get him in there for more minutes, whether it was off the bench or starting. It's an easier way to make that happen.
I know you go with who you have, but how do you think the offense, since it was the first time this season without Tyler?
That is really tough to evaluate. Without Tyler, and just our overall intentionality was not at its highest level.
Typically in cases like this, there'll be times when someone is down and your leading man will take over and do a little bit more. Jimmy's effort tonight seemed a bit languid. He wasn't there on the floor at the finish. How are you working through this level of Jimmy that you've gotten since his return?
It is. I know what you're trying to get out of me. You're not going to get anything worthwhile. It just was not a very inspiring, first 3 quarters, by the whole group. So it's tough to pinpoint one person in that. I was subbing, getting it deeper into the rotation. Just nothing really seemed to take hold until we got to that last group. That was probably the most inspiring group, and I believe Pell got that steal. That was an opportunity to get it to 5, and that was finally the building was moving and shaking a little bit, and that was because of what the guys were doing on the floor.
Is it frustrating when the team gets into those early holes and they're struggling to find its rhythm, or do you?
No, it's basketball. Look, you're not always going to get off to a great start. It's 48 minutes. You got to try to take control of the game. You got to try to set the tone. You got to try to play consistently throughout. Everybody's trying to do the same thing. It's who can impose their will longer than the other team. All right, thank you.
The Blazers won the will game in this one as well. And as we turn to one of your rewinds, let's get into a guy who was in the first 5 last time we saw him, now coming off the bench, as Sharp was at a critical tipping point in this game.
Yeah, well, it was just past the 6-minute mark of the third quarter. We're down 19. The Spo calls a timeout. And we come out of the timeout, and this is what happened. Jimmy's got it. He's going to make an entry pass to Jaime. Roll it. And here comes, stop right now. So we're going to run into this high pick and roll, okay? And when his Jaime comes off and Nico rolls, watch what happens. Roll it. All right, hold it right now. Now, good job by Avdia with the high hands, forcing this hang time pass. See? And coming out of the corner, that's Scoot. Now, look at Burks. He's wide open. If we can catch and kick, he's got a wide open 3. But this hang time, he's waiting for the ball to come down. Okay, roll it. Here it goes. Stop. So what happened is the whole thing happens because of the high hands by Danny Avdia, and now they're going the other way. Roll it. There's a kick ahead. Now, stop. Hold it right now. I want you to, this is a walking violation that he gets away with, because watch what he does. There's the official right here. And to me, plays like this are inexcusable in the open court. How you can let this go. And I'm not blaming this on, but just watch. Ready? He picks up his dribble. It's 1, 2. There's the third step. That's a walk. It's not a jump step.
I had 4, bud. I had 4.
Well, I'm giving him benefit of the doubt. And that made it 84-63 at the 5:26 mark.
More rewind coming from Ron. This big fella right here, he was impactful. Big old grown man double-double from Ayton. He didn't even have to go into the trees to get his. Coming back for more.